Are you a Dark World player? Are you tired of losing to Droll and Lockbird? Stay tuned. I got you. What's going on, you guys? Slim back here with a new deck profile and video for you guys today. Like I said, we're back with content, so you know your boy had to come back, and everyone has been super kind to me since I did come back. I know I didn't really quit. I never do quit. I just had adult stuff going on, which honestly sometimes sucks, but you know, it is what it is. But your boy is back, more consistent content, and you guys have been super supportive, so I love you all for it and appreciate it. Just wanted to give you guys what you've been asking for. You guys have been asking for updates on deck profiles. Now, as you guys know, I did sell my collection. I'm slowly bringing it back. That's where the series starting over came from. Rarity collection basically just it will be the conclusion of that series, because it's just literally everything. But I did keep a couple decks along the way, one of them being one of my favorite decks. If you guys have been following me since I've been doing YouTube for like 10 plus years, I love Dark World. I don't care what anyone says, I've loved Dark World since the cards first came out back in the day when it was just Gold and Silver and Dark World Lightning, and I've loved them to the first starter deck, to the structure deck, everything. This is one of my favorite decks of all time. It's a deck I will always keep, and I just adore it. Like, there's no way around it. One thing that like I said in the intro, Droll and Lockbird destroys this deck. Unfortunately, it's been very hard for me to pilot this deck, and trust me, I've tried online on Dueling Book, I've tried on other simulators, I've tried in remote regionals to pilot this deck. Like, anyone who knows me knows I've been trying to slowly get back into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, playing some of the remote events. Just because of my previous job I had made it very hard for me to, you know, go to IRL events. But you know, things have changed. If y'all saw my update video, you know, things are Gucci now, so we're gonna be back in action. As I tell my brother Johnny, you know, shout out to the squad, of course, had to have him in the video. You know, the delinquent duo is back in effect, so it's gonna be pretty dope. We'll be coming back to more events. But that aside, Droll and Lockbird destroys his deck. There's no way around it. Like, it literally just destroys his deck. It's very hard to play. A lot of times you just pass your turn, reveal a danger, summon it, they droll you pass. Like, you don't have any other plays, honestly. So we looked into a way to mitigate that. And shout out to Squiddy. I don't even know if you're gonna see this, bro. You the homie. You came up with this. I got this idea from you, so I'm gonna show it off. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome. As always, you know, thank you guys for the support. I'll have Squiddy's channel linked down below because he is the inspiration for this. So hopefully he sees this. He is the reason why this idea came up, and then the Dark World Facebook group also talked about this more, so shout out to everybody. I've wasted enough time. Last plugs, my two sponsors, of course, Gem and Dragon Shield. Dragon Shields are what I have on my deck here, the oversleeves here, definitely check them out. I have my link down below if you guys want to purchase some of them. And of course, Gem, shout out to Gem, they're amazing. Same thing, the mat, everything. But we're gonna get into it. I'm not gonna waste time on the standard stuff. Like, I'll just explain. Like, you guys have seen Dark World decks, they really don't change as far as like the main monsters go. Like, you're gonna play 3 Genta, you're gonna play 3 Rainbow, and you're gonna play 3 Snow. That is standard. You're never gonna cut this. There's no reason to. This searches your field. This is just a big guy that can search your other big guys. This searches every card in the deck, basically. Like, these are just your main guys. This is never gonna change. You cannot cut down this ratio. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think any good Dark World player would cut those down. And then 2 Silva, and then 2 Grapha, and then the 1 Ceruli. Again, a lot of this is standard. A lot of this is not going to change. Double Silva, you could argue for 1, but honestly, like, if you lose it, if you get into a bad spot, got to banish it off a lure, like, you just don't want to be in those situations. Same thing for Grapha. Also, as I said in the last deck profile, being able to have another Grapha for not only to pop a card, but also to run it back with another fusion is pretty crazy. So yeah, that's why 2 Grapha is beefy, so it's good. And then just 1 Ceruli. I've seen people talk about the combo lines with 2, and yeah, I mean, you can do that, but honestly, I'm trying to keep the deck as consistent as possible. And like, this is just something that, like, I just need 1. I just need to give it to you once, loop it with Akashic or Security Dragon, and do it again, and then that's 4 cards, and hopefully Talents rips the 5th. So that's all the standard Dark World monsters. Dark World spells are still standard, of course. 3 field spell, you could argue for 2, but I want to see it. This card, yeah, it sucks if you don't have anything going on, but it's like the heart and soul. Genta getting into this is just crazy. Genta plus Rainbow is just like full combo. It's crazy. 3 corridor, still stand by 3 corridor. make the argument for 2. It's fine. We've talked about this before. One of the coolest cards. It's honestly a custom card that got made for Dark World. Yeah, it's once per turn. Don't matter. Tons of Yu-Gi-Oh cards are once per turn. This card is just insane. This card literally completes the loop. This card just gets you going. It's crazy. It is insane. One of my favorite cards to come out recently. And then, of course, just the 1 Fusion and the 1 Archives. Again, I still personally don't feel the need for a second Fusion. Never came up. Can always recycle it. Card's crazy. Archives, Graceful Charity. Card's insane. All the standard Dark World stuff. None of that stuff has changed. I'm going to go through the other stuff real quick. The danger count, I did cut down to 2 Nessie compared to I did have 3. And then, yeah, I mean, I just felt like if I clunk on too many dangers, it really does suck. 2 Mothman, then just 1 of Choop, Jack, Snake, Bigfoot. I'm not crazy about the Bigfoot, if I'm being honest. These are just extra bodies. That's really all they are to help you link climb. I mean, the 4s are important. Giving your opponent cards is not the best thing. Like, that's the only thing that does kind of suck about it. But, you know, you really got to just kind of push. You want to have different names. So, yeah, Bigfoot's in there. I've seen some lists play Thunderbird. And, yeah, that could be fine if you're playing against a back row deck. I guess if you hit a risk, you ace back row. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to pop monsters or face up floodgates because this deck does lose hard to Tikaboo. So, yeah, this card being able to pop that is kind of cool. And, yeah, it makes the 8, so it's cool. And then finish out the other stuff. Allures, Card D, most broken card ever, and Talents. That's just, you know, this is to rip the last card. Very rarely will you take your opponent's monster unless you're going second, and this, I mean, this can also just, this is usually, like I said, to rip the last card, and this can also draw you to if for some reason your hand is just really bad and you don't have anything going. Now, all that boring stuff out of the way. The reason why we are talking about, you know, anti-droll Dark World is Tour Guide is back in this deck along with the target. Now, before everyone screams and says, why are you not playing Brow? You can play Brow if you want, perfectly fine. Discarded, it draws cards. That's a good card. I saw this on Squiddy's channel. This was actually a while ago, actually. As soon as I saw this, I actually started piloting Dark World. Now, this was something he had in the side deck, and I tested it in the side deck. I liked it. Every time I knew my opponent was siding in Droll, if I opened Tour Guide, I would go Tour Guide into this, and then I would make, I'll show you guys the main card that we're making. We're making number 75, the Bamboozling Gospel Shadow. Now, if you guys remember this card was a menace in the Rango Miniad deck. Yeah, basically, we're making it with 2 3s, and basically, whenever they would try to droll us, because this isn't going to start, you know, anything that adds cards to our hands or anything like that, you're able to detach a material, and then the effect becomes that, both players draw 1 card. So you detach both materials, the effect becomes both players draw 1 card. So this card is anti-droll, anti-nib, mostly just there for Droll. Like, this is just to play around Droll, because Droll really does cuck you. Nib, depends on where they nib you. Mid combo more than likely can be a problem, but this card, just seeing into this is just a great way. Now, obviously, you do want to open it, so it is just something. That's why the deck is 40 cards, but this is, like, pretty standard stuff. Like, you just want to play around it. This is also just good to make game 1, like, going first. Like, you don't really have a normal summon. This is a perfectly fine normal summon, as it was in OG Dark World, and then just making this and just kind of sitting on this until your opponent tries to do something. Like, trust me, a random Ash doesn't sound like much, but at the right time, it can just kind of screw your plans. So, yeah, this was very, very cool. Again, shout out to Squiddy, link in the description. The homie knows what's up. Oh, and the reason for this thing, shout out to Pete, because, God, I didn't even know what the hell this was. This card is from Cross? I mean, what was that? Crossroads Chaos or something? I don't even know the name. So it's a level 3 Fiend, so it's a target. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a level 8 Fiend monster from your deck to your hand. So yeah, there's some random synergy. You can get one of your big guys. You can get Rainbow or Grapha. So yeah, so that's cool. That's cool. Like, yeah, I mean, it's just cool. Siding Lava Golem, you can actually get to it too. So yeah, there's a lot of cool little things. And then the last card is called by. The 40th card. This is how you just play around Droll. Like, obviously, Call By can catch Droll, it can catch Ash, it can catch any of the random hand traps that are in the format. So yeah, this is fine. This also could be imperm bait, which is funny too. So trust me, you'd be surprised the crazy things that can come up. But anything we can do to play around Droll, we're all for. But yeah, that's the spice. Shout out to Squiddy again. That's the spice for playing anti-Droll Dark World. So yeah, I'm all about it. Honestly, you could even opt for Crossout Designator. The problem with Crossout Designator though is you gotta commit those, then you also got to commit a copy of Droll, which isn't the worst thing. Like, you could play some extra hand traps. Just something I tested around with. I wasn't a super fan of it, but might be something I might revisit in the future. Anything to play around Droll is always cool. Shifter, unfortunately, is just something like you got to call by it. There's no way around it. Like, there's just no way around it, unfortunately, unless for some reason you go Tour Guide, summon, they do nothing. You make the guy, and then if for some reason they haven't shifted you, you can then negate it, I guess. But yeah, I digress. Extra deck real quick. 2 Grappa Fusions. Like I said, the second one on the crackback is crazy. Muttcracker is the best link for this deck. The Bouncers, Insecurity Dragon, and Akashika is how you bounce your Ceruli. I think my extra deck has literally stayed the same. The 2 Nightmares. I cut the Unicorn. I'll show you guys why I cut the Unicorn. These were just more versatile. I felt like I made them more. They were just better, and just being able to co-link them and draw cards was cool. And then the Griffin lock. I'm still ending on Muttcracker Griffin if I can do full combo. Hitting 4 cards out of their hand, Muttcracker Griffin's pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty solid. Griffin is insane in this deck. Saryuja, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of this card. It sucks to say, this is one of my favorite links ever printed, but this is just if you're like in a oh shit situation and your hand is just ass. Like, you literally just summon this to just kind of fix your hand or finish the combo if you haven't gotten to it, or if you're like super far ahead for some reason and you're just digging for talents to rip the last card. So yeah, I still gotta play it though. I think it's still necessary. The newest change is I added Underworld Goddess because of purely Noir is a pain. So yeah, 12 material Noir, no thanks. We spam monsters like it's nobody's business. If they don't bounce them, we're making this as fast as possible. So yeah, that card's very, very good for that. And then just the XYZs, we've got the 60, which we're always going into to draw. We got the 41, the Baguskis, if, you know, if we just have to do it. You know, if we get shifted, this is kind of our game plan, you know, make this. You know, if we didn't get the tour guide playoff, yeah, just make this, and on this is just another cool XYZ. I put Dweller in the main deck. Again, I can't even remember what I cut from this. I think I cut Exotonite. Dweller's in the format again. You got Unchained, you got Tier Elements. Yeah, this card is still good. And then I'm still playing the Giant Trainer. I think this card is broken. This card, it just makes no sense to me. Yeah, it's a Widmore card, but man, when you get there, it's crazy. And you can cheese your opponent with it too. And then you guys saw the last XYZ is the Anti-Droll card in number 75, the Bamboozling Gospel Shadow. But that's it, you guys. That's the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to smash that like button if you did. By all means, you got questions, you got critiques, you got suggestions, I'm all ears to them. I know there's a lot of cards that Dark World can try out. You're wondering where's Ken and Gin? I don't have those cards. You're wondering where SP and Typhon are? I don't have those cards. I haven't tested them. So will this deck go through iterations? Absolutely. If you've tested the Ken and Gin package, did you like it? I've seen some Dark World lists that have topped. Some had it, some didn't. So I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know how good it is. I can see it being something. So yeah, we'll definitely look into that. But hopefully you guys enjoy. Be sure to smash the like button if you did. Check the links in the description below. I'm also going to have a link to a podcast episode that I was just in with Semi-Limited Podcast. Be sure to check that out. Shout out to them over there. They were kind enough to have me over there as a guest, so that was super cool. Yeah, if you want to get to know a little more about your boy, it was cool. But yeah, that's all I got for today, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to smash that like button if you did. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.